Why aren't demons possessing people as much as they did back in the Bible days? Today, since we can't get enough an adequate answer from any of the pastors that we interviewed, we want to interview someone who, let's say, has more of an insight into these things than others do, and that is none other than Satan. We're going to be interviewing him today and see why it is that demons have not possessed people like they've done before. Why is that? Can you expound on that? First of all, thank you for having me on your show. So let's just get right into it, right? The question, like you said, has been, why aren't people getting possessed anymore? And the question is, there are people that are still possessed, but I found out a better way to infiltrate humanity and to cause them to actually destroy themselves. Case in point, I remember listening to a message that Paul brought, and he was talking about how to win. And he was saying how to win a war is actually to surrender. And at that moment, it clicked. It clicked. The way to win a war in this fallen world is to surrender. Now, you may be asking, well, what in the world does that mean, right? Well, what that meant to me is I got to stop. I got to stop doing things the way that I was doing them, and I got to start copying things that work. What Jesus did, what Paul did, what these Christians did is they worked in a way, in a capacity that would educate the people, educate humanity on their doctrine, right? And so I was like, well, wait, what am I educating people on? And at that moment, I decided to place more of my resources towards educating the public than to possessing them with my demons. And so now, not only do you have medicine, not only do you have doctors naming diseases, but when a person, case in point, when your auntie, when your uncle says that they are diagnosed with some sort of disease, they mention the word have. And so they take possession of it, right? Anything you name, you are responsible for. And so I looked at this as an opportunity to gain more followers, have more people in dark states than ever before, and it would be all their problem because they would be the ones that say, for instance, I have cancer or I have a cold, right? And now these things, they're very minuscule to humans, but in the spirit world, we know how much power words have and what it takes to actually possess something and what it means to possess something. So instead of people getting possessed, they now possess their own death by confessing that they have that disease. I mean, they even mention doctors as, I'm going to the doctor, not to a doctor. I mean, when I saw that, and that's just one particular field, when I saw that, I knew then that my work was complete. Does that make sense? So let me get a little deeper here. You know how the Bible says knowledge puffs up, right? You also know how it says God hates pride. Well, listen, you talk about 2-for-1 shot. I fill the humanity with knowledge, okay? And they get so puffed up, you can't tell them a thing, right? Not even God can get through to them. And because I know God hates pride, they will set themselves up through the knowledge that they've gained, right? Whether it's business, whether it's government, whether it's healthcare, I mean, all 7 mountains of influence, right? We specialize in educating the public. Therefore, we don't have to take possession anymore. I mean, you want to talk about leverage, right? You just educate the public and they take care of themselves, right? They invite these demons in, okay? And I have nothing, well, a little part to play in it. Check this out. They are made in the image of God. So what makes me think that I would do a better job at destroying them than they can? I mean, look at the things that they've already invented and created. I mean, a lot of good things, right? But then, fortunately for me, there's been a lot of bad things as well because of that fallen nature. So I make sure that I stay in my lane. And what's my lane? Educating the public, right? If a person gets demon possessed, that's good. We're not spending as much time and resources in that anymore. We're spending our time and resources in making sure that the public is educated.